Hi guys, and welcome to my middle grade March Hi guys, and welcome to my middle grade March TBR. And I'm gonna have a separate TBR for all the adult books I will be reading or hope to read. I think my list is quite big, but at the same time, I'm always fearful of March because I don't know. I know the reads are short. The reads are short in middle grade, but I will put down below the two people who are hosting middle grade March. And last year I was a little hesitant. I was like, oh, do I want to read kids books? But I read kids books all the time because of my kids. And then I got into it and I read some really good books and some of them ended up in my top 10 list. So I was like, I'll definitely give it a go again this year. I didn't quite finish the challenges last year, so that's my goal this year, just finish the challenge. Challenge number 1 is to do a nonfiction or based on true events book. So I picked The Librarian of Auschwitz by Antonio Istobar, and I did the true events one instead, just simply because I picked up this book in January and it was a really good book and it captivated me right away, but I didn't finish it because I just wasn't in the mood. Like, I got into it, I just wasn't in the mood. It wasn't because the book was bad or anything. The little girl was as cute as can be. I think I'm about probably a third of the way into the book, and so far I kind of know what's going on. So far this little girl is just, in the very first scene, she's like hiding a book under her clothes, and then it pulls out like a guy who kind of runs part of her one of the guy that kind of runs her little lodge where they're staying in, and he pulls her aside and says, do you want to become the librarian? And it's very hard to be the librarian because they're not allowed to have these books. These books have been very secretive. They teach school every day as much as possible with these 7 books, and it becomes her job to do it, and her job to pull the cart and take care of the books and be able to hide the books whenever they have SS inspections. So whenever they have SS inspections. And so this is based on a true story and true events about a little girl who did this, and I'm feeling it's gonna be sad because it's in Auschwitz, but the story did pull me in, and I had to back away from it, but I'm really excited for this one. I'm really excited to finish it, and it's a good one to start with because I already read part of it, so hopefully I can get the rest of them all done. And I think it got pretty good reviews last year, so I'm also excited about that. Okay, challenge number 2, I'm also cheating on this one a little bit, is the main character not human, so I'm gonna go with The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, and we're gonna follow some hobbits around and some wizards. I know it's not like the main character is like a duck or whatever, but I just thought I'm like halfway through this with my daughter, so I might as well like stick to our guns and actually read this and not go off and read other books with her and just finish it up with her. And I love The Hobbit. I listened to it on audio a few years ago. I mean, I read it as a child, but I listened a few years ago and I just absolutely loved listening to it. So I'm excited to dive the rest of the way back into this story and finish out challenge number 2. But I also just need to wrap it up with my kid in our reading process. I also own The Hobbit, but challenge number 3 is fantasy, which this one is the easiest for me to fulfill, and I'm really excited about it. I could have put The Hobbit in as fantasy, but it fit the other one better. So I'm going to do Egg and Spoon by Gregory Maguire. This has been sitting on my shelves for a while, and this one has been, I think it's been given awards in young adult, children's, and middle grade. So I'm going to put it there. I know it is about a 13-year-old, but I know 11, 12-year-olds can read about 13-year-olds. It is a huge epic by Gregory Maguire. He's one of the best retellers there is, and I'm really excited about this one. This one is about Russia. If you can see the little Russia storyline there, and a train. So this story follows a little girl named Elena, and her father is dead, her brother is drafted into the war, and her mother is ill. So she's really kind of by herself at this point of 13 years old. And she comes across a train, and she comes across an egg and a person who kind of looks like people that are kind of mystical, and they kind of look like, one of them looks like an egg. And it is a retelling of Prince and the Pauper. So if you liked Prince and the Pauper, or if you like Gregory Maguire, I'd also suggest reading this for a year. It is quite long. I don't know why I was thinking trying to put this book in. It's 500 pages, but I know a lot of middle graders who could read this book easily. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in. I've been wanting to read it, and I absolutely love him. I loved Wicked, so I'm excited about that one. The 4th and the 5th challenge I am combining into one book because there were some books last year, like I said, I didn't finish the challenge that I kind of want to get around to because I put them on my list or my TBR last year, and I thought I'll do it next March, but then they had different challenges this year, which is great. It always changes things. The 4th challenge was written in verse, and the 5th challenge was diversity, and so this one, the combined one, I picked Rules by Cynthia Lloyd. So this book is written in verse, obviously, and it is a bit of a diversity. That's what the entire book is about. Okay, so Rules is about a young girl named Catherine, and she has a little brother who is autistic, and all she wants in her life is her world to be normal. But then next door moves in a boy named Jason who is paraplegic, and he also as well has a sister, and then her world just kind of collides, and then she kind of has to redefine what is normal, and it's just like everything normal. Does everybody have an issue or a problem that they have to deal with all the time? And this one was also a Scholastic Gold winner, I believe, quite a few years ago now, but I've heard nothing but good reviews. I've seen it on the shelves before, and the cute little duck is so cute. So I'm excited to dive in this one if you guys want to go ahead and check this one out for one of those challenges 4 or 5. And then also I will be reading, what is the story called? Sweep a Story of a Girl and Her Monster by Jonathan Auxier. And this is the book they've chosen, like the one book, if you read any books in middle grade March, you succeeded. And then the one book they've chosen that they will all read as a group is this particular book. I don't know anything about it. I don't think they said anything about it when they were talking about it, and I didn't look it up. But also the reason I combined them is because, like I said, last year I never finished them. And the 2 books I didn't finish last year was the one they read, and I heard nothing but good reviews because this one won. I think that this was a Newbery Prize winner, The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. I don't know anything, but I think this is about a girl who like got raised by a witch, I believe, and there's a cute little dragon on it, and I've like had it for a year, and I want to read it, and it's been on my March TBR. I just have to read it. And the other one was the classics. I really wanted to reread last year, Anne of Green Gables, or for many years now, and I just have never got along to it. So I really want to reread this book, and this is like an Usborne edition with like pictures in it, and it's so cute and it's so squishy. I really want to read this book. So this is also on my middle grade March list. So I do have, what is there? There was 5, I have like 6 or 7 middle grades that I do want to complete this March, and I'm so excited. If you want to also check out my February TBR to see what adult reads I'll be reading, yeah, go ahead and check that out as well, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!